Hello everyone, thank you for joining. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Kelly Wentworth. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator from Kennebunk, Maine. I appreciate you being here. If you're popping on, say hello, let me know you're there. If you're new to my channel, just say, post that you're new and let me know where you're from. So we can welcome you. I am just going to make sure that I am live in the feed. Hi Cynthia, good to see you. And it looks like I am live. That's good. Everything's working. We are expecting thunderstorms here, so I don't know. Nothing yet. So fingers crossed. Good to see you. Hi, Ann. Thank you for coming back and thank you for joining. How you been, Cynthia? Hope you're doing well. I hope everyone is enjoying this warm weather. We kind of go from one extreme to the other, don't we? Hi, June. Thank you for joining. Hello, Vicky. Where you been, my friend? Excuse me. I'm doing very well, thank you, Cynthia. Everything's good. I've been enjoying this warm weather. Probably a little too much poolside. My grandchildren have been over, and it's been a long weekend right into today, which is my granddaughter's, the twins' birthday, the big 8. My gosh. And they were home today because of the weather, because it was too warm for them to be in school. So they did school in the morning, and then they came over and swam with Graham. So that was fun. And but yeah, we poolside all weekend, so beautiful. Nothing like floating around in the pool. Been waiting for a long time to do that. Okay. So I'm going to get started. Again, I want to thank you for joining, and don't forget to share my video. If you share my video, I do give away a prize for sharing my video. Once you share, please comment in the comment section that you shared to make sure that I see it. And And last week, I featured for a giveaway these beautiful, they're called Perennial Essence Floral Centers. Can you see them? They're stunning. They're so beautiful on flowers, sunflowers, regular flowers, and they have sticky back, stickies on the back. So you just peel off the sticky. They're retired. This is a brand new pack. I had a partial pack and then I have this one. And the winner of last week's drawing is Diane McCracken. And I don't know if, Diane, if you're on, say hello. Congratulations for winning the drawing. Thank you, Anne, for sharing. Congratulations, Diane. And this week's drawing is a brand new package of the Happiness Blooms enamel dots. I use these a lot. This is a new package that I had left in my stash, but I use these a lot. They're beautiful. They're Forma in colors, and they're really pretty. And there's three different, I think there's like 3 different sizes. So this is the giveaway. So again, once you share, just comment shared, and I appreciate all the help. It helps my small business when you share. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to share an awesome card I received in the mail from Melanie Foy. Melanie is often here. I don't know that she's here yet. She lives in Arizona, so she's on a different time zone, but she sent me this beautiful card, and it's a stand-up card. It came, flat, mailed flat, but it has an easel to it with Velcro. And she gave me a nice little message thanking me, which I thought was so sweet, for my videos. And you're so awesome. Isn't that? And it just stands right up, and I have it right here on my desk. So it's like a little easel card. Can you see that? Thank you for your kindness and your videos and friendship. Consider this a paper hug, and leave it on your desk and to remind me how awesome I am. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Melanie. I absolutely loved it. You made my day. And I do have it right here on my desk. Okay, we're going to get started because I don't know how long it's going to take me to do these cards. So I want to get started. I am using the Hand-Penned Bundle. I don't know how many of you may have this set, but I started playing with this past week. And I will say, just going to put this out here, I was on and off playing with it, getting ready for my class. So hopefully I didn't mess up or forget anything, because I'd be in and out of the, by the pool side and everything. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to get back to my class. But I've had a lot of fun playing with this bundle. And you get the bundle, you save 10%, obviously, if you buy them together. And this is a 2-step stamping set, so it's got the flowers, and I'm gonna be using these a lot in as well as the dies. So I'm going to show you different ways that I kind of played with them. But this is again another set that, even though it's 2-step stamping, you have the flowers that go over the bigger designs. They're not exact. They're artistic. They're meant to give an artistic watercolor effect, which is very forgiving, and just looks, just very artistic. So I'm going to show you how those work. How many of you have this set? And if not, hopefully I inspire you to get it. And I am going to be using my cut and emboss machine tonight, so hopefully that works out okay as I pull that up, okay? Just a reminder also, the June host code, if you're placing an order, if it's under $150, I do appreciate you using the host code for the month. It helps me bring these videos to you and these free classes. And here's my online store website. And also here's my blog, worldofkellycraft.com. I do have to apologize. I did not get back to people's comments last week. It's been a crazy week here. Just a lot going on. Some personal stuff, with my daughter and, her dog, and just some really, it was just a crazy week here. So, and then the sun came in over the weekend and I just got really preoccupied. So my bad on that. But I do appreciate the comments because I typically go back and I look at them, and it means a lot to me. Here's the first card that we're going to make tonight. And this is like a card pull out. So you could use this. Not sure what kind of a design it's like a pull-out card, but you could do lots of different things with this. But isn't that pretty? You have this set, Vicki, and Kim, you do. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Okay, so we're going to get started. So I'm using Highland Heather for the base, and it's 4 1/4 by 10, scored in half, so scored at 5. Okay, and we're going to emboss it, and we're going to emboss it using, let me get my embossing folder and get my machine. We're going to be embossing it using the brick and mortar embossing folder. And usually I do the embossing ahead of time, but what I wanted to do was just kind of show you how I did this one, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm putting this in the embossing folder right on the seam, okay? And then I'm just kind of folding it under. And this is a 3D, so we're going to use the gray plate to put that through. Whoop, hang on. Oh, hang on. I had the bottom, the other half of the paper tucked under it, and because this is a 3D, it was thick, so it didn't want to go through. But as you can see, love this brick and mortar. So let me move this. I'm going to use that again later. Yes, Kim, you could, good to see you, Kim. Thank you for joining. Yes, you could definitely put a gift card in here because it's wide. This is 3.5, and I'm going to go over the measurements when I do it, but you can cut this. You could add a gift card in there. You could actually, tape it down. The thing is, what you want to be careful about is how thick it is. But I think, let me see if I have one. Now I know this isn't a gift card, but as you can see, it could certainly go down there. Hang on. You could stick it in there easily. Okay. I gotta put the fan on. Hang on. I was thinking about a gift card when I was putting this together. So, all right, let me get back to my seat here. Okay, now, let me put this back over here. You guys can see it. So, the first thing we're going to do is, hang on, did I do the wrong? Oh crap, I think I did the wrong end. I did the wrong end. Darn it. I wanted to do it the other end because I wanted to do it over here. All right. Well, we're going to have to do it the opposite way. Actually, I can put the flower, well, you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna get another piece. I wanted to show you how to do it when you're doing the front piece, but because of the design of this, it had to be done on the other end. I suppose I could have improvised. And put the flower on the bottom part instead of the top. And that would have looked okay too. Hey Sharon! All right, let's try this again. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get the brick and mortar. Let's see if I can do it this time. If I don't do it right this time, we're doing it the other way. Good to see you, Sharon. How are you doing? There we go. Okay, so now let's try this again. I'll use that on another card. So what you want to do is I'm using the Label Me Lovely punch, and you're going to go right up as far as it'll go. Kind of make sure it's even on both sides, as best you can. See, it's at the top. So how many of you are purple lovers? I love Highland Heather. I think it's so pretty. All right, And we're going to use the dies on this, and I'm going to be using the scalloped one, and we're going to bring the machine in again. Only the cutting one this time. I know you guys don't see me using the machine very often. I try to do that ahead of time. Sharon, you're a purple lover. Definitely. Okay, so we're just going to put this across the top. And I didn't measure, so I just kind of eyeball it. And try that. Doing good here, Sharon. Thank you for asking. All right. Now, this is the card. So this white piece it measures 3.5, and you can have it as long as you want. This one, it goes about 5 inches. So what we're going to do, we're going to take your liquid glue, and I say liquid glue because, we're going to close this up and make a pocket, and you really just want a very, very thin line down each side. And you want it thin because you don't want it oozing out all over the place. And you're literally going to just put that down like that. Okay. And that's what creates the pocket. And then it'll be open. And what I have to do is I'm off a little bit on the scoring, so let me trim that. Sometimes I think my scorer on my trimmer is a little bit off. Let me just get... Makes me feel better. Okay, so you're just going to let that dry. Okay, and that's what's going to create the pocket. And then this will slide down in there. And actually, I think I'm going to... Hang on. Now you can trim this, like this still fits, and it's about 5 inches long, okay, so it's hanging out. Then I'm going to take the Highland Heather, and I'm going to stamp on it with the paper in there. So let me get my thanks stamp. And you want to stamp it a little bit over to the right, like on this one, because you want to save room for your flowers, okay? That's right, June, you like purple too. That's right. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now we're going to put that aside, and we're going to do some stamping. And we're going to stamp there are 2 big flowers in this set. And on this one, we're doing the bigger one, okay? And they're both beautiful. On one of the other cards, I'm using the other one. So you'll get to see both. And again, it's a big stamp, so I'm going to do it upside down. Do any of you have this set? And you're just going to stamp on the paper because we're going to cut that out anyways. Okay. You want the person's job that names the colors. I know. It's the coolest thing what they come up with, I think. And I don't know how they keep doing it, but they do. They keep doing it. Okay. So now we're going to color it. And I used Pale Papaya. And we'll do that one first. So we're going to do the bigger flower first. Which is this one. All right, and you just want to follow this along until you see there's one side fits better than the other. And again, it's not exact. Hang on. See how it looks watercolored, almost like there's an artistic watercolor effect to this. Okay, and we're also going to do, I did the two little ones, so we're going to get that flower. There. And then there's even a smaller one, and I did that one in Pale Papaya. I'm telling you, I'm loving this Pale Papaya. It's so pretty. And then, let me get these cleaned off. Well, I hope I've inspired you by the end of this, Sharon, that you're going to want this set. Now there's like a double flower stamp. Okay, and we're going to do the purple, the Highland Heather for that one. Okay. And then I used mint macaron for the leaves. And in this set, there are two leaves, a small and a large. Okay. This one. And we'll use a little one. Do you see how easy this with these line stamps? What do you think? I think that's pretty. I love the colors. Okay, and now we're going to cut that out with the die. And again, you have the big one and you have the small one. And we're using the big one, and we're going to use the small one on another card. Like I said, I don't usually do a lot of this die work, but I did want to show you how easy it is to use this set. Am I in the camera? Alright. And then I always use like a piece of the good. Just going to put that through. And it cuts beautifully. Very precise. Any questions with the die cutting machine? Does anyone have any questions? You guys all pretty familiar with that? Okay. Now on this one, on the bottom, let's see. It's 3.5. Yeah. I actually put some DSP at the bottom. And I have a piece of 1/2 inch. So this is a 1/2 inch, I believe. Yeah, 1/2 inch of the Highland Heather. And then the DSP is 3/4 of an inch by 3.5. And put that there. Just have a little bit of it peeking through. And that'll fit perfectly on there, and then just trim it off. And this DSP will match the size of the white paper. Okay, and you just turn it over and you can trim it. Give it a little bit of a decor at the bottom. So this one, okay, and then what I did is, let's bring the card back in. I put this up on dimensionals. And I've got all kinds of dimensionals here that just have a few left, so we're going to use these up tonight. Oop. Hold on. Oh. Now, what you have to be careful about is when you decide which way you want this, and I should have oriented this a little bit first, because you can kind of figure out where you want this, but you don't want to put dimensionals that are going to stick on the white piece, okay, because that's your slider, okay? And I didn't look at where I was actually sticking this, so let me pull this back up, because you can decide, like, where do you want this? Do you want this to look, you know, you can have this kind of go any way you want. Hang on, I'm gonna start over. So you want to move this around and decide, like, where do you want to angle that? And when you do, you put your dimensionals over on this side, okay? So I'm thinking, I kind of like it like that. So I'm going to be putting dimensionals over here. Let's see. For God's sakes. Yeah, I'm going to put a dimensional over there. And then I'm going to put some, get some more. So put some over here. And a little one down here. Let's try this. See if that's enough pop. Hi, Leslie. Thank you for joining. Where are you from? See, because you want to be careful, you still want to be able to pull this up and pull it down, okay? Whoops, hang on. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So that's why you have to be careful of that. And then what I used are these beautiful genial gems. Oh my gosh. I started using these. I absolutely love them. And I'm actually using the papaya ones. So I'm going to put one over there. I'm going to put one here. And then maybe a little one. Let me see. What do you think? Oh, we gotta add the ribbon. So what I did is I'm using this beautiful grosgrain ribbon, and it's in Highland Heather. Okay, and literally all I'm doing is taking two little pieces. This ribbon is gorgeous. It has like sparkles in it. What did I do with my... Whoop. And what I did on this one is I just kind of tucked it under. You kind of decide where you want the ribbon, depending on where you just kind of crisscross it, make it look like it's kind of coming out like that. And I'm going to use glue dots. Let me get my glue dots. And I literally just kind of put it on the ribbon. Leslie, where are you from? Let me pull that up a little bit. There. There we go. I think it's really pretty. Okay. Next card. Is this one. Can you see the pink speckles on it? So, how I did that is I am using eight and a half by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. This is thick Whisper White. Okay, and what I did is I'm going to do some flickering. And what you do is I'm taking my polished pink Stampin' Right marker, and I'm using the brush tip end. Okay, let me move that out of the way because I'm going to be doing some flickering. And you literally just take the brush end with the cap and you just go like this. And hopefully that's showing up on camera. Can you see it? And then I'm going to take a piece of the mint macaron, and this is 2.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to take the dark, oh, let me get my mint macaron. Hang on. The dark mint macaron, again using the brush tip, and how I got these stripes is I just drew them in. Okay, not measuring, just kind of going. They're probably not even straight, and that's okay. Just to give it a little bit of a background, a little bit more dimension, okay? And what I was surprised to see in the catalog, that I didn't see any mint macaron flickering. Sounded naughty to me at first. Oh, it can be naughty, all in how you do it, I guess. So what I did was I just took this white crinkle ribbon, and I just used my blend, and I just colored it. You've seen me do that before. So you can make your ribbon any color you want. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna get that down, and let me get it. It is a neat idea, Sharon, because it's just, if you want it, if you're making a card and you just think, okay, it just needs a little something, but I want to add something, but not too much, it's a great way to do that. And then what I do is I just take another piece and I just make a knot. I mean, you can bring it around and make a bow if you want, but and then just pull it tight and then trim. Just kind of a cheating way. So I wanted a little something, but not too much over there. Okay. And then let's put that aside, and now we're going to do some stamping. and we're going to do the other flower set, okay, which is this one right here. There's a lot of possibilities with this bundle, a lot of different ways to use it. Oops, let me get my mat. I'm going to put a little bit more ink because I just rubbed my finger on it, so I want to make sure it's all inked up. Okay. Now on this one, I'm making a mess here with all my stuff. Let me move some stuff. I'm going to be using the polished pink. And the mint macaron. So let me get that. These two colors are so pretty together. Okay. So we're going to do the polished pink, and there is a flower blossom is bigger enough to go through all of that. Make sure I'm on camera. And again, it lines up pretty well. Now, polished pink is a little bit bolder color than the rest of the in colors. So if you really wanted to go use it with other in colors, you could actually stamp off and make it a lighter shade if you wanted to use the polished pink. In this particular case, I didn't have a problem using the full strength, but that's just a suggestion. So if you were using it with the soft succulent or the papaya, in this case we're not this time. All right, and then we're going to use, we need the other flower. Whoops. Need it one more time. And we're going to do this flower. But I thought these two colors looked really well together, and I liked it full strength. So, and then we're going to use the mint macaron. Now I'm going to show you a trick with one of these. So let's get the leaves done. Is that one? That one. That one. So that's the bigger one. So on the little one, we're going to do that. And do you see this one right here? This thing in the middle? There really wasn't one exact, so what you can do is use the little one, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp, not the tip. I'm going to leave the tip white. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. See how I left that? And then I'm just going to have that going down towards the stem, and it worked perfect. So just a little tip on that. Okay, and now we are ready to cut this one out, and that's using the smaller one. These cut out beautifully. Very accurate. You just want to make sure your lines are lined up. That through. Perfect. We're done with that. And now we're getting ready to put this one together. So down here, I stamped anything is possible. So we'll bring the base back in. And and I did that in the black memento. So let me get my black memento back. Down in the lower right. And then we're going to put this on dimensionals. You guys still with me? And center that at the top. There you go. And then we're going to take this beautiful flower and we're going to put that on dimensional also. And I need to cut some of these. And I think I'm going to put one right there. You don't want it sagging. What are you thinking, Sharon? You excited to get this set? All right. And then just kind of position it where you want it. Yeah, like that. And then again, I'm using those beautiful genial gems. And on this one, I'm using the green ones, which I think are soft succulent, but I'm not exactly sure. So we're going to do a big one. We'll do a little one and one there. What do you think? I typically don't like to go past 8, so I'm going to stop at 2 cards tonight. I knew these took a little bit longer because I did cutting and embossing online, but I hope you enjoyed the cards. I think they're beautiful, and there's lots of options with this set. Lots of different ways to use both the stamps and the dies. Thank you, Kim. I'm glad you like them. I'm glad you like them. There's lots of different ways to utilize the flowers and the dies. You can use just the dies or just the flowers, or you can use both. But I think beautiful. I love the artistic watercolor effect with this two-step stamping set. And I just think it's gorgeous. I hope you've enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for joining me. And have a great rest of the week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.